Welcome back to iTech Aspirant. In today's video, we're going to explore the four main components of Android and then see the activity lifecycle in action using a simple Kotlin project. If you're a beginner in Android development, this video will help you clearly understand how an app behaves behind the scenes. Android applications are built using four main components. Activity represents a single screen with a user interface. It's what users directly interact with. In a calculator app, the main screen where you enter numbers is an activity. Service runs in the background to perform long-running operations, such as playing music or downloading data. Broadcast receiver responds to system-wide events, like low battery or incoming SMS. Content provider manages app data and shares it with other apps, for example, contacts or gallery data. In this video, we'll focus on activity, the most visible and interactive component. An activity doesn't just run, it goes through multiple states during its lifetime, from creation to destruction. Android provides lifecycle methods to manage these states. Let's see how this looks in practice with our Kotlin Demo app. Now in our Android Studio, let's create our new main activity file. Here a simple layout file is created. We are using ConstraintLayout as the root layout, which allows us to position views flexibly with constraints. Inside it, we added a text view with ID lifecycle text. We set constraints to the top, start, and end of the parent, so the text view is centered on the top of screen. Now, let's move to the Kotlin file, mainActivity3.kt. Here we have declared a variable. This means we are creating a TextView variable that will be initialized later, not immediately. The onCreate function is created automatically when we build an activity. Save instance state line makes sure the parent activity setup is done before our custom code runs. Set content view connects our activity to the XML layout file, so the design we created in XML will be displayed when the app launches. Then we link our variable to the text view in the layout using findViewById. After that, we set the text off our text view, so users can see exactly which lifecycle method is running. And finally, log.deActivity lifecycle prints the same message in the Logcat, which is useful for developers to track the lifecycle in the background. The first string you pass in log.d is just a tag, while the second string is a message you want to display. Here we are overriding the onStart method. This method is called when the activity becomes visible to the user. We call super onStart to make sure the default system behavior of onStart still runs. This is important, otherwise the parent activity code won't execute properly. Next, we update the text view on our screen with the message onStart called. Finally, we use the log class to print a debug message in Logcat. And the same logic is repeated for all lifecycle methods. onResume called when the activity is ready for user interaction. onPause called when the current activity is being paused and the previous activity is being resumed. For example, when another activity comes on top like a call screen, use this to save data or pause animations. onStop called when the activity is no longer visible. The app may go into the background, and resources can be released. onDestroy called when the activity is destroyed, either by the system or by the user closing it. It happens when the user closes the app or the system removes it to free memory. onRestart called when the activity comes back after being stopped. It helps restore the activity to its previous state. Next, we'll go to the AndroidManifest.xml file and make main activity 3 our launcher activity, so it will open automatically when the app starts. By default, Android usually sets main activity as the launcher activity, but we want to open main activity 3 instead. To do that, we'll look for the activity tag for main activity 3 and add an intent filter. We'll cut that intent filter along with the closing activity tag from main activity 2. Next, in tag of main activity 3, after its opening line, just paste the intent filter and closing activity here. Inside intent filter, main is the entry point and launcher makes it appear when you launch the app from home screen. So now, main activity 3 has the launcher intent filter. This means it will open automatically when the app starts. Finally, let's open the Logcat window to see the output and then launch our app. When the app starts, the TextView will first display onCreate, then onStart, and finally onResume. Now scroll up in Logcat, and you'll clearly see the onCreate, onStart, and onResume methods logged in sequence. And if we minimize the app, it will update to onPause and then onStop. When we reopen the app, you'll see it shows onRestart, then again onStart, and finally onResume. And at the very end, when we close the app completely, the onDestroy method is called. This way, you can clearly observe every stage of the Android activity lifecycle in action. Try running this on your system and let me know in the comments which lifecycle methods you noticed in Logcat. If you're following along, don't forget to subscribe and check out the full playlist for a complete understanding of Android Studio, Kotlin, and XML, and to stay tuned for upcoming videos.